Hello peeps, welcome back to my channel and Kaylee's channel. And I am here today to talk to you about A, my books, and B, MCAS, mast cell activation disorder. Last week I missed filming my video, and I'm going to tell you why and show you why. And so yeah, if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, please do so now and hit the bell so you get notified when I have new videos up. And if you like this video, give it a pause up if you would, and we'll get started here in just a moment. So yes, last week was a clusterfuck basically, pardon my French, although I warned you, I swear like a trucker. But first, a little bit about my books. Tomorrow is the release date for Midnight Web. I'm so excited. People are loving Starlight Web, and I can hardly wait to see what you think about the second book in the series. So run out and pre-order it if you haven't, so you get it tonight when it drops at midnight. I'm having launch day parties starting tomorrow in my group and in a couple other Facebook groups. And I'm having a contest on my blog later this week. I will put links in the description box below for you so that you can find your way there. And feel free to join my group. Well, I belong to two groups, so join my groups or the other one where I'll be guest posting. Make sure to answer any questions that they ask to be let in, because we're trying to avoid spammers in all those groups. And so yeah, come on over, help me celebrate, maybe win a few prizes, and enjoy talking about books with other readers. Oh, and by the way, Kaylee is doing all right. She is better. She's moving around fine. She's eating again. Her temperature's down. The antibiotics worked. I'm very relieved because I had a very sick little kitty there for about a week, and it was nerve-wracking. So with that being said and done, yeah, last week I went to my chiropractor on Friday afternoon, as I always do. And I get there and I walk in and I instantly am overwhelmed with the smell of onions and garlic. Now my chiropractor knows that I am extremely sensitive to these things, but unless you live with this, it's easy to forget. I don't blame him at all. He ended up eating something for lunch that was heavy in garlic and onions. But I walk in there and the smell just overwhelms me within seconds. And I'm just like, turn around. I'm like, I need to leave now. And I told him, someone's eaten garlic. Someone's had garlic in here. I've got to get out of here. Well, he knows how sensitive I am, so he didn't try to stop me or anything. He was just like, oh my God, I'm sorry. You know, I forgot. By that time, I was half out the door, and I just texted him, it's okay, I'm headed home. Hopefully, I got out quick enough. I didn't get out quick enough. Even less than 30 seconds exposure to strong fumes from garlic and onion can trigger reactions in me. So by the time I was on the way home, a few minutes later, I was digging for my inhaler in my purse, and I used it. And then I was digging for the Benadryl. I keep liquid Benadryl with me at all times, except I forgot that I didn't go out at all last year, really, except to the chiropractor. And the Benadryl that I had in there was already a bit old, and it was 2 years old, and I pulled it out and it was kind of foamy, and I was just like, I don't know if that's safe to use or not. My throat was closing up. I had my EpiPen near. I was like, okay, if I don't make it home in time, I've got my EpiPens, I can use those. I couldn't get air down my throat. It was bad. My eyes were burning, my throat was burning, my nasal passages were burning. It's like somebody takes fire and just pours it down my throat when I smell garlic and onions. So I get home without having to use the EpiPen. But by then I am like really gasping for breath. I do have water with me at least, and I've been trying to get some water down me. Get inside, grab the Benadryl, slug back a huge dose of it. And in about 10-15 minutes, it started backing off some of the worst parts of the symptoms. The day was toast. I was gone. It was gone for the rest of the day. A while later, I decided to try and film a little video because I realized I talk a lot about my reactions. I talk about MCAS a bit, but I haven't really shown you guys what it's like for me. And so I filmed myself. What you'll see was about an hour and a half after I took the Benadryl, when the reaction had backed off to the point of where I could speak without just squeaking. I lose my voice during those sessions. And so I'm going to play it here for you in a few minutes so you can see what my life on Benadryl is like. Now, the reactions aren't always like that. I haven't really talked a lot about mast cell activation disorder. I've talked about having it, but I haven't really sat down and done a video on it. One thing, it's complicated, and it's complicated to read about, let alone try and explain. But I would do my best. Everybody has what's called mast cells inside of you. They're helpful. When something dangerous to your system hits it, they release what are called mediators to try and deal with that. They cause a form of inflammation in your body, and it tries to expel the offending whatever it is, pollen, or say you've got a food allergy. The mast cells release mediators to cope with those assaults on your body. When you have mast cell activation disorder, the mast cells kind of have lost their mind, and they decide that everything is trying to kill you. So you're constantly having reactions against fragrances, against scents, against things you eat, against things you touch, that your mast cells have decided are trying to kill your body. For example, I do have food allergies, actual food allergies to like dairy, but the mast cell dysfunction in my body have decided that, say, the scent of garlic is assaulting my body. It's attacking my body. So it will trigger off mediators, causing a massive reaction to garlic. It will do that towards so many things, towards histamine, high foods. It's like strawberries and tomatoes and leftovers because they're high in histamine, and cured meats, and fish, especially fish is very high. Citrus. I can handle some bits of lemon. I can't handle any orange whatsoever, or tangerine. And it's getting so the smell of orange and tangerine is starting to trigger off reactions. And these are very real reactions. They can trigger off anaphylaxis at the worst. So it can kill you. I mean, the symptoms for this, there are like 50 some symptoms you can have with this. It affects a number of systems in the body. And for MCAS to be MCAS, it has to affect at least 2 systems. So it can affect the skin, and I get major itching. I mean, itching like you're not believed. I get hives, flushing, sweating. It affects your eyes. Some years back, I put up a picture of, I didn't realize then what was happening, but I was having a major allergic reaction to something. Don't know what it was, but my face was all swollen up. So that angioedema, which is swelling of the skin, is a symptom. The nose, itching, sneezing, running, cardiovascular system. Your heart can race. Your blood pressure can drop. My heart rate is very high. For instance, when I wake up in the morning, my heart rate, once I sit up and get up at first, heart rate just skyrockets. Blood pressure doesn't, heart rate does. And it's like just thundering in my chest. The nervous system, headaches, dizziness, vertigo, all sorts of things. And it can affect other parts of your body as well. For instance, the bottom of my feet hurt when I eat too many white potatoes. If I eat more than just a few bites of white potatoes, the next day, the bottom of my feet will hurt like crazy. Mast cell activation disorder is not the same thing as mastocytosis. My niece has mastocytosis. That is far more dangerous than mast cell activation disorder. And while the symptoms can be very similar, there's a lot more problematic issues with mastocytosis. For instance, my niece can only wear clothes that are made of rayon or bamboo. Any sheets she has or covers have to be rayon or bamboo. She can eat 2 or 3 foods safely, if that. I have a much more varied diet than she does, even though my diet is very limited. The reactions can be everything from just itching to panic attacks, brain fog, confusion. If I have a reaction in the middle of the night, I am so confused that sometimes I know I have to wake Sam up, because when I do, he gets my Benadryl for me because I know I need it, but I'm disconnecting between knowing I need it and being able to take it. Now, there's no cure for MCAS. You can manage it. Sometimes the management is more difficult than others. I haven't had a normal diet in years. I'm attempting to do low carb, which is more difficult. I have a much more limited diet. I am managing mostly. It is boring as hell, but I am managing to stick on it, and it is helping me feel better overall. And it's taking some of the inflammation down a bit, which is good. And I'm noticing a difference in how I feel and how I'm able to move. My knees don't lock up when I stand up anymore. Well, they do sometimes, but not as bad. And I'm not retaining as much water, and I'm now having to watch my blood pressure so it doesn't go too low, because I am on a mild diuretic for other issues than just blood pressure. But I've had to cut that way back because my blood pressure was getting down to 90/58, which is a little bit too low for me. It was causing tiredness and dizziness, and my doctor was surprised I didn't faint. So that's what living with MCAS is like. It's a constant balancing act, because what bothers you today may not bother you tomorrow, and it may throw you into anaphylaxis the day after that. It's all dependent on how your body is doing, how much sleep you've gotten, whether you've been exposed to too many triggers, whether you've eaten too much high histamine food. I'm just grateful that kitties don't trigger me on. So I'm going to show you that footage now, and then I will come back and say goodbye. Yasmine here. Let me move the mic so I can be louder. I'm having trouble talking today. I'm in the middle of a reaction, and I've told you guys about them, but I thought I'd film it. I'm not as bad off as I was earlier. I've had a full dose of Benadryl and my inhaler. I went to my chiropractor today, and I need to go once a week, and he's really a good guy, but this one time he forgot that if he has onions or garlic in the office, it will trigger me. And so I walked in, and even though I was wearing a mask, it was instant being, I was instantly overwhelmed with the smell of garlic or onions. It actually was more onions, I could tell. And I knew I had to get out of there fast. So he came out to say hi and take me back. And I was like, I gotta leave. I've got to go. There were onions in here, and I can smell them, and I'm getting a reaction. And of course, he was really good about saying, go. And he was so sorry. Apparently he had eaten some teriyaki chicken for lunch, and the scent Just the air reeked of onions to me. So I got back to the car where Sam was waiting, thank goodness, and got in and we're headed out. And I found my inhaler. Took a little while because I had it in the wrong pocket of my purse. So I found my inhaler and used it. And then I looked for my Benadryl, and my Benadryl had gotten too old. I used the liquid because it gets in the system faster. And so it had gotten foamy, and it was like 2 years old. I hadn't gone through the bottle because I don't go out that much. And so I couldn't use that. And all the way home, my throat felt like it was closing up, and I was really scared. I was like, I'm going to have to use my EpiPen. And I kept trying to breathe, and my throat didn't want to take the air down. And I'm not sure whether it was like closing up or just phlegm, like from the reaction, coating my throat and covering it up or clogging it. But by the time I got home, I rushed inside and grabbed the Benadryl and took a dose. That's why I keep bottles in the kitchen, in the bathroom, in the bedroom, in my office, so that if I need some on a moment's notice, it's there. And I took a dose of Benadryl, and I'm still confused from the reaction. Not as much as I was, and I'm not crying now, but sometimes reactions make me cry because it's overwhelming and confusing. And my throat burns, and it burns, so I'm not going to talk long today. I think I'm going to add this footage into my video tomorrow and talk a bit about the reactions some more and what I have to do for them, because this is like a major part of my life. And, it's like I've got a headache right now still, but it's not as bad as it was. The Benadryl helps it too. But it was frightening, and my chiropractor felt so bad. And, it's like, as I told him, unless you live with this on a daily basis, or it's somebody dear in your family, things happen, people forget. I don't blame him, because he doesn't have to deal with this on an ongoing basis. And he just sometimes doesn't. Everybody's going to forget at some point if you don't have to be aware of this constantly. But I'll see if I can make it back tomorrow for my appointment. My back aches, but there was no way I could stay there. And so, yeah, I'll put this in the video that I do tomorrow, but I think I'm going to go right now because my throat hurts when I talk. And my lungs still burn from that scent of onions. And I think the rest of the day is toast. I'm glad I got some work done this morning. I'm going to try this evening to get some more done, but right now it's just sitting here watching Netflix and Hulu, because that's about all I can do right now. Yeah, this sucks. Oh, there's Kaylee. Kaylee's doing better, guys. She's on the mend. Anyway, I'm gonna go drink some water and try to clear out my system. And I'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye. So yeah, if you have questions about how MCAS affects me, how I deal with it, what I eat, things like that, feel free to put them in the comments below, and I will do a video talking about them and answering questions soon. So next week, I will be talking probably about something else, but we will see. And so remember, Midnight Web out tomorrow. I'm so excited for it. I'm excited for my readers because I had so much fun writing the book, and I know you will have fun reading it. And it's fun, right? I'm using that word a lot. It's fun, but it's fun writing about January. I like writing about her. She's not only amusing, but she's very real to me. Actually, there's a lot of me in her. Now, there was quite a bit of me in Camille. There was a lot of me. There is a lot of me in Raven. And there's a lot of me in January. So, those are the three characters I would say most fit my personality. Anyway, so I will talk to you next week. I hope you have a wonderful week, and I hope that everything goes smoothly. Go buy my book, enjoy, take care, all those good things.